In this episode of RAR Garage, it's all about destruction. All right, so here's the plan. We've got this house that's just been sitting on the property for a couple of years. We haven't done anything with it. It's basically just been our mailbox. So we're gonna be turning it into the coolest office. So stay tuned.
This old farmhouse was built likely in the 50s, 60s, or 70s. We're not really quite sure. But what we do know is it's been sitting abandoned for at least 10 years and hasn't been renovated for decades. When I bought the Team RAR house, it's sitting on 100 acres and on the one side has this abandoned farmhouse. Since moving in here 3 years ago, the house has literally just been sitting there to rot, and we've been only using it as a mailbox, which means no electricity, no running water, and no HVAC. This thing is in bad shape. But now it is finally time to put some love into this house, fix it up, renovate it, and make it wonderful yet again. Walking into this house, it literally feels like it's frozen in time from the 80s, and it's definitely falling apart. The siding is bad, the roofing is bad, the gutters are bad, the flooring is bad, the kitchen is horrible, the roof is caving in, the foundation is leaking, the HVAC system is completely trashed. And if that wasn't enough, the whole thing is just honestly super ugly. So we really got to breathe some life into this thing. Just about everything in this house is old, ruined, water damage, and it all needs to be torn out and it has to go. The demolition project itself will have 5 main objectives. First is removing all the old flooring. Second is to strip out all the old plumbing, including the toilets and sinks. Third is to install an entirely new HVAC system so we can get the heat and AC working yet again. The fourth step is to take down all the old fixtures on the exterior of the house. Then we're going the extra mile because we want to remodel the entire kitchen. This is going to be one of the biggest portions of the entire project. And to make this even crazier, we got to finish the kitchen resto before the painters come, and we only have 3 days. You RAR Garage fans need to stick around because this project is going to be awesome. First up today is stripping down all the old flooring in the house. Some of this flooring is from the 1970s and it's gross. It needs to get out of the house as soon as possible. Every single room in the house needs to have all the flooring removed, so this is gonna take a little while and be a ton of work. But we have to make sure we keep this project on time, so we gotta work pretty quickly. Awesome, we are finally down to the last room in the house. Now that we finished up the flooring, let's head to the kitchen to begin destroying it so we can rebuild it even better. And we're gonna start with removing the old cabinets.
Just do it! Do it!
Oh, hold the phone. This wasn't like that last night.
Nope, so it's gonna fit perfectly here, and there's already water plumbed up to it, so
that's great.
We'll have a working ice maker.
Yep. Okay, so this fridge is too deep to really
It
fit
comes
here.
like here. So that was part of what was making it feel tight. So this is starting to feel better. Although I do know what you mean. That is kind of awkward, but
I don't love that.
yeah.
We could just take the door off. It's a little ugly. But yeah, I wanted to tell you my idea about potentially rotating this around.
Sure.
The only thing I'm thinking of is like this is a lazy Susan, so it might be a little different because it's on the left side of this cabinet and on the right side of that one. So if you put it right where the lazy Susan stopped, it might fit.
And we're gonna remove this.
There's no lazy Susan already in there.
So this is gonna be taken out, and we're gonna leave this guy and remove the softening to the edge of that.
Kind of flat.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the idea because it's gonna make the kitchen feel huge.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think it's feasible, let's just do it.
It's gonna be a challenge.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Love that. We are now planning on seeing the feasibility of removing this L because this kind of blocks the kitchen in. It's super tight with the door. So we're gonna see if we can basically cut it like this and just have it go straight to really open the kitchen. We wanna save this first cabinet and join it here, remove all of this in here, and figure out how this mechanism gets connected.
Make sure all the seams are separated so that when we go to pull it off, it's not gonna break anything unnecessarily.
General contractor. So we gotta save this cabinet, so you gotta be real gentle with everything here.
Look at all that wasted space.
That's a screw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jiggler is really good for some of that stuff.
Yep.
Ooh, there's a hidden wallpaper under there.
Yeah.
It's like pumpkins or something?
They literally put paneling over the wallpaper. It's kind of insane.
While the guys keep working on saving the cabinets in the kitchen, it's time to rip out all the old plumbing fixtures to make way for new ones.
RAR Garage, Express Trash, second floor gravity delivery.
Just like that, after a lot of sledgehammer hits, all the old fixtures are finally out and ready for a new install. Let's check back in on the kitchen and see how Matt and the RAR guys are doing.
And you want to try to cut this a little more?
Oh, there she is. Is that fake brick?
Nope. That's real.
No,
yeah,
that's
it's
fake.
facade, yeah.
So it used to be that fake brick kitchen?
Wait a minute.
It's definitely fake.
It's fake?
Yeah, it's definitely
It's tile. It's thick though. Look at it. Oh wait, no, it's brick paneling.
Yeah,
This was expensive. They paid a lot for that. It's like hyper realistic. Brick paneling in a kitchen. What the? There's electrical line just sitting here.
It probably feeds to the garbage disposal, maybe.
Yeah, the problem is now it's exposed.
Moment of truth to see if we can rip this off safely, and hopefully we don't ruin it. Because if we ruin it, we're gonna be in big trouble.
Just screw it up. That's all.
Yep. It's unrolling. It's like you're supposed to realize this.
Ah.
Now it's time for our favorite part. We're about to sledge this thing.
I've got a trash bag.
Yeah, the kitchen is actually much. It's already living like
It's
larger.
like you're starting to realize it's this whole room. Like before it was just that room. Now it's this room too.
Yeah, it did.
And then you realize, wait a minute, it's always been the same room.
This is the old floor.
The old floor. And then if we go one layer deeper, there's way too much happening here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on at the same time. Our garage is crushing it right now.
There's another floor.
Underneath that
This
floor.
is another floor. Alright, so we're trying to redo this wiring here that goes to our dishwasher, and kind of problem. This wire is worn through all the way to the exposed copper, exposing the actual wire inside, so that's a hazard. We're gonna have to do something about that. Alright, so we've got our piece of wire here that the insulation's all messed up on. We've got our cabinet relocated over to this wall. I'm gonna cut the section of exposed wire out, run this into an outlet box, and then we'll run fresh wire from here over to the dishwasher, and everything will be nice and safe. And we're gonna get a nice outlet right here on the side of the cabinet.
It looks like the kitchen reno is gonna take us a while, and we're starting to run out of daylight, so we need to wait for tomorrow. But the clock is ticking. The painters are coming in a couple of days, and we do not want to fall behind. It is now officially crunch time. The first thing we need to get done today is the exterior. Let's start removing some of the old rundown fixtures on the outside of the house. The old exterior fixtures are all in the dumpster, and it's time to head back and check out the kitchen again. We were cutting out some square panel to try and patch up the unfinished drywall sections where the fridge was.
Okay, so we took out a whole bunch of stuff in the kitchen. There's this ugly exposed bit of wall, and we tried to put in some paneling to make it look decent. It doesn't look very good. So what we found is behind this wall, there's drywall. So we're gonna pull down all the paneling on this wall and that wall, which will be able to make this look more even and cohesive. So the guys are about to pull all this paneling down, and we'll see if the drywall behind it is usable. Fingers crossed.
Layer 1. Done.
So this kitchen has many layers to it. As you saw, we pulled down one layer of paneling, and there's another layer. And wallpaper. So this kitchen, they just, every time they redid it, they just kept stacking layers rather than taking down the old. So one more layer to take down.
That's not you, that's been there.
Yeah.
Cool.
We just really opened up a whole new can here. They just went in it with a hammer. Why would you do this? Why? Oh man, people are crazy. Who does this? Why? I don't understand. Clearly they were trying to run wires through the house, and they were like, whatever, we're just gonna put up paneling, so they just hacked the drywall apart with a hammer and ran wires through. So we need a piece of drywall now. I'm wondering how much more of this kind of stuff is hidden behind the paneling in other parts of the house. Okay, so I think we've finally gotten to the original wall of the house. It was painted yellow, lots of holes, lots of nail holes from all the paneling, and lots of big holes. So we got our work cut out for us.
Well, that's not good. I told you guys there were a lot of surprises in this house, and that one came out of nowhere. But we must press on since we're almost out of time. On the second biggest part of the demo, we're gonna have to rip out the entire HVAC system and install a completely new one. Ducting, air handlers, compressors, and all. This part of the reno is also one of the most expensive and is making me really nervous because this old house is not easy to work in.
Brazed everything in on our joints here. Now we're running, we did a pressure test, used soap bubbles, made sure we had no leaks, held the pressure test for 15-20 minutes. Now we're going back and pulling all the moisture, the atmospheric air out of the system so that it's actually going to be negative pressure, no contaminants, no air, no anything inside of these line sets. Measuring it here with a micron gauge. That's our readings. We want it below 500 microns, and then we valve it off, test it, and hold it, and make sure it's down.
While the HVAC guys were installing, we had to crawl down into the depths of the basement. Man, it's crazy how far back this foundation crawl space goes. Who knows what could be hiding down there after decades of sitting there rotting away. All the HVAC is up and running, so now it's time for one last kitchen check-in. We are really starting to reshape the kitchen, and it's time to put together a game plan on how to handle the giant hole in the wall.
You just need to see some damage.
Good damage or bad damage?
Damage.
Oh, what happened there?
Yeah.
Did someone accidentally go into that?
There was paneling on this wall. This was behind the panel. This.
Well, maybe they tried to undeal something?
They did it to run wires. Like, see, look for the doorbell.
Why is it cut like that?
It's a hammer. They just
Oh, you're right.
whaled it with a hammer to open it up.
Yeah, you're right. That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the plan. We have two courses of action, one of which is really all we are probably going to do. First thing we could do is we could cut to here, remove this piece of drywall and put a fresh piece in, and then smooth this all out, make it gorgeous. But the rest of the kitchen's paneling. So what's the point of spending the effort to do that when we could just put paneling over all this and be done? It's cheaper and it'll look just as good as the rest of the kitchen. That's what we get to decide.
Is this regular drywall to match here?
Yeah, it's all the same.
So that just needs to be sanded and puttied or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of holes though.
At any point the later somehow makes this like an accent wall with some styling or something. That could be really
Yeah.
I don't think you're really going to notice it doesn't have paneling, but it's all
The
painted.
fridge is gonna be here, then maybe trash cans or a shelf here, and then just smooth the wall. It's fine.
I think you won't notice.
They put the outlet box in the stud. They cut the stud to put the outlet box. And then look back here. The stud's completely chopped apart. It's totally wrong. You never do that, ever.
We definitely have our work cut out for us with this home. Whoever lived here in the past cut a lot of corners, and we're gonna have to fix each and every one of them before this house is livable once again. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode of RAR Garage.